Hi, my name is Eileen Hetty, and I'm the Director of the Office of Support for Teacher Education Programs and Global Student Teaching at the College of New Jersey. I've been in a lot of roles at TCNJ over the years, including student, faculty member, and parent. I have two sons that attend TCNJ, so obviously I think it's a pretty amazing place, and I hope you'll consider coming here next year. Today I'd like to talk to you about a program that's really unique to TCNJ, and that's Global Student Teaching. This is something that very few other colleges and universities across the country are able to offer. And it's something that many of our students cite as the most impactful and meaningful and wonderful experience that they've had at TCNJ. A good place to start to learn about Global Student Teaching is a video that's posted on the Accepted Students Day website, and it's also posted on the STEP Office website under the School of Education. There you can see some of our former students talking about their experiences with Global Student Teaching, and you can see how much they love it. I'll start with the basics of the program. This program takes place during a student's full-time student teaching experience semester. And that's the semester where they're in schools all day, every day during their last year of their program. And so if they do Global Student Teaching, they spend the first half of that semester abroad, usually for 7 or 8 weeks. And then they come back to New Jersey and they finish student teaching in a public school, either near their home or near TCNJ. They live in an apartment in the city where the school is located, and they live with other TCNJ students. We always send students in at least pairs, and we try to send them in small groups of 3 or 4. They also have the opportunity to travel on the weekend if they want to. Many of our students will be staying at a place like Rome, and they can easily fly off to Paris or Prague very inexpensively for the weekend. The schools are English-speaking international schools with U.S. curriculums. Everything is in English. The students all speak English either as their first language or as an additional language. And the instruction is all in English. The teachers, many of them are usually native English speakers. Many of them are American, but they may also be British, Australian, Irish. And the student population can vary in the schools. Sometimes there's a lot of American children in the schools, but other times it might be a lot of the local population, such as Italian children in the school. These are the sites that we are going to be offering next year. You can see there's some pretty amazing and fascinating, interesting places. I always tell our students that no matter where they go, they're going to have a fabulous experience. Sometimes our students don't get their first choice of where they want to go, but I've never had a student land in a city and then not fall in love with it wherever they land. Parents and students ask a lot about whether or not this program looks good on a resume, and I can't emphasize enough how much our partner districts tell us that they love to see this on a student teacher's resume when they're applying for jobs. It just shows that they're flexible, adventurous, independent, and they're willing to think out of the box a little bit. The cost for the program is relatively low through the college. There's only a $300 fee that the students pay to the college. In addition to that, the students pay for their housing and meals while they're abroad and any other additional travel that they might have. So the housing can vary a little bit from one site to another. We really want to encourage students to explore their options financially if they're interested in this program. We don't want to see finances stand in the way of students that are interested in participating. So students can always come and meet with me to get some suggestions for how they can finance this. Their financial aid will cover their tuition and their housing and their meals while they're abroad. And if they're living on campus, TCNJ will give them a credit for the quarter, the academic quarter that they're not living on campus. And sometimes they can live abroad for much more cheaply than they can live on campus. My own son actually was abroad in Prague this semester, and it was cheaper for him to live in Prague than it was to live on campus because it's a relatively inexpensive city to live in. Scholarships are available both through TCNJ and a lot of other outside organizations, and we encourage students to apply for those as well. Prior to departure, students are placed in a school. They're matched with a cooperating student teacher, just like they are in regular student teaching. They have a chance to meet with students who have completed the program and hear about their experiences, get their advice. They meet with a TCNJ faculty member who's assigned as their on-site, as their supervisor while they're abroad, and they have several meetings before they leave to prepare for their time abroad, both in terms of the student teaching aspect as well as general logistics, housing, travel, and those kinds of things. And they communicate with their cooperating teacher via email and possibly Skype before they depart so that they are prepared for entering that classroom in terms of curriculum and content, maybe routines, things like that. While they're abroad, they work with their cooperating teacher all day, every day, just like they would if they were student teaching here in the States. They communicate with that TCNJ faculty member on a weekly basis. They send reflections and lesson plans. Sometimes they Skype with the faculty member just to touch base, make sure things are going well. And they submit 2 video lessons for feedback to the faculty member. And then another really unique aspect of this program for us, and one that we think makes it really successful both for our students and our partners, is that a TCNJ faculty member visits the students while they're abroad, and they observe them teaching, and they meet with the cooperating teachers, the school administration, and they're able to give them in-person feedback and support while they're there. We get a lot of questions about safety while students are abroad and just general support. In addition to the TCNJ faculty member, the students have an on-site supervisor who is a contact in the school. It's usually the head of school or a principal at the school, and they serve as someone who matches our students with student teachers, orients them once they get to the school, both personally and professionally. They might give them a tour of the city. They help them find housing. When we have students start to look for housing, we send them the apartment that the students might be interested in living in, and the on-site supervisor provides feedback about the location, the commute to school, and maybe the cost as well. And this is the person that if the student gets sick while they're abroad, maybe they need to go see a doctor, the on-site supervisor would help to find and recommend an English-speaking doctor that they could go and see. The schools and the apartments are generally in very safe areas. They tend to be in residential areas of the cities, and they're mostly private schools, so they're usually in areas where a lot of diplomats and embassy workers may also live. We also make sure that the students always travel in groups. We send them in at least pairs or 3s or 4, but when they travel on the weekends, we also want them to travel in groups. I'm happy to talk to you more about this program and also put you in touch with some of our students. Students who have participated in this program love to talk about it and share their experiences because, as I said, it's really a highlight of their time at TCNJ, and they love to share their experiences. So please feel free to reach out to me. My email is here, and I can also find some students that you could connect with. We hope to see you next year at TCNJ. Good luck with your college decisions.